Morning, can you hear me? Yeah. How is your day? How was your week? Good. So. We still survive, right? Okay, wait for me a bit. So my pleasure to come back to Mava and meet with you today, this morning, okay? So today I would like to share this topic with you. I had a pleasure to talk to several elder Buddhist teachers in the past few weeks, okay? And then we found that there is some consensus about some unique features in Buddhism, okay? So you've been here, maybe I ask you this question. What do you think are the unique features in Buddhism that attracts you to come to Buddhism? Any thoughts, ideas?
Peace and peaceful.
Yeah, peaceful. Yes. But peaceful come from the practice. Yeah. So they told me that is the truth, the truth of dependent co-arising. They help them to see that the world is imperfect. That's why we need to work towards perfection. Okay, this is a very deep topic. And then some told me that because of the non-violence, because of peace, yes, Buddhism promotes peace, harmony. Okay, we are peace lovers. So we always about non-violence, all right? But in order to promote peace or happiness, first we need to know what are the causes, what are the conditions that make us stress or sufferings. Okay, these are the things that we do not want. Okay, and what are the defilements, the problems that we are having? Because only to know the causes and conditions, then we know how to deal with it and free from it, right? Yeah, it's not by avoiding them, but to deal with it, to face them. So this, after listening, after all these conversations, then it gave me this idea, let me share this topic with you. Okay, so actually, patience and tolerance, it is come from an important practice called Kanti in Buddhism. Yeah, this is one of the 6 parameters in Buddhism, or parameter is the perfection. Have you heard about Kanti? So Kanti, the word Kanti has more meanings, So some translated it as patience, tolerance, forbearance, or endurance. But after I checked the definitions in the English dictionaries, then I decided to use this patience and tolerance. Why? Because let's look at patience, okay? So it has the meaning to remain calm. And then this characteristic allows us to accept annoyance without complaining. Okay? Yes, we always have many dissatisfactions, right? All these little pebbles on the roads that keep us. So can you live a day without any complaint? Be honest with ourselves. Okay. So this is important. Let's continue and be determined and resolved to reach the goal. So we have a high goal. Okay. So keep the goal in the mind. And ability to take something without being strongly affected means the emotions, the feelings will not be affected much. Okay. Now, and next is tolerance. What is tolerance? It is ability to tolerate pain, discomfort, stress, challenging situations without being overwhelmed. Again, this is talking about with a very calm and then steady mindset in facing all these discomfort, stress, challenges, right? By how? And it allows us to effectively and consistently deal with all these stressful situations again without being overwhelmed, right? How to do that? By being respectful and learn from others, values the differences to bridge the gaps. Now let's look at here. When something difficult happens to us, is it true that it happens because we disagree with it? And then there is some opposition against my feeling, against my thinking, right? That make me feel very difficult. So that means there are differences. But if we have the ability to tolerate, that means we are able to, in effort, to learn what are the differences, learn from others, and put in effort to narrow those differences, values the differences, okay, and narrows those gaps. So these are the meanings of tolerance and patience. And these are the meanings that the practice of Khanti want to teach us. That's why I translate Khanti into patience and tolerance. Okay. Now I want to, based on this, let's look back to the teachings of Buddhism again. Okay. So just now I talked about stresses, sufferings. The Buddhas also taught his first teaching is Four Noble Truth, right? And then the way to reach the truth is by practicing the Noble Eightfold Path. So what are the first truth in the Four Noble Truth? The truth of suffering, again, suffering. The second truth is the causes of suffering. Now here, I know people doesn't like, many people do not like to hear about sufferings, right? I come here to look for peace. You keep telling suffering, but here, one thing, just as I mentioned just now, we here have to be very truthful to ourselves, practical. The way to solve, to reach the peace and happiness is be brave, face the stress, face the difficulties, know what are the causes, know what are the conditions, so that we are wise enough and not to repeat again, not to fall into the pitfall again. That is how we can truly reach that peace and happiness. So the ultimate goal is happiness, peace. But before that, we know what are those problems first, okay? So here we do not teach people by sitting meditation, you reach calm, peace, and then no problem. That is not the right way. Practicing meditation is to cultivate wisdom, wisdom of seeing things as they are. And things as they are is inside, not from outside. I will talk more about that, okay? Okay, so I want to start with quite a popular stories in Buddhism. Some of you might heard about it, okay? Have you heard about one of the great disciples of the Buddha? Okay, his name is Punya. Have you heard about the great disciples of the Buddha, Punya? So Punya is one of the Buddha's great disciples in the Buddha's time, okay? So he has this, after he learned from the Buddha, he has this great determination and compassion to spread the teachings to the place where there is no teachings at all. So in the Buddha's time, the Buddha's teaching only limited in the Ganges River region. So Punya decided to go to the west of the Ganges river region where there is no Buddha's teachings. So before he left, he went to consult the Buddha again. He said, Buddha, can you give me some teachings that can strengthen my practice and belief? So the Buddha said something like this. Any things that you can cognize with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, the body, that give you a desirable, lovely feeling, enticing, that arise the delight, joy in your mind, be aware, because the arising of delight give rise to suffering. This is the same. The moment we contact with the eye, ear, nose, tongue, and the body, when the feeling of dislike arises, suffering arise. This is what the Buddha taught. So you see that if you have practiced here enough, you see that it is the process of the mind and the body react to the external contact. Okay. In this whole process, it's just the faculty contact with the external object give rise to the feelings and thoughts, and so on and so on. Is there any real self? I feel, I think, I decided. There is an I in it. Without practice, ordinary people react with this I. Feeling arise, do not see the feeling arise as it is, but see that as I feel. When thinking, thoughts, or these memories pops up, it's just the mental activities. But without the clear observation, immediately jump into it, seeing that I think, I like, I don't like. This becomes the problem. When there is the concept of I in it, it becomes the self-attachment. Can you see that? So Punya very smart. He was already an arahant. Okay. So once he accept the Buddha's teaching, he immediately thanks to the Buddha and told the Buddha that Buddha, he wanted to leave, okay, go to a village in the west called Sunaparanta, okay. So the Buddha tested him. The Buddha said, oh, people in that area is really wild and rough. But if they scold you, oh, then I will be very thankful because they haven't really hit me. Okay, then the conversation going on. What if they hit you? What if they stab you with knife? What if they kill you using knife? Then Punya said, oh, then as a disciple of the Blessed One, means referring to himself, I've been like repelled, humiliated, and disgusted by the body and by life. This means he actually already penetrate through, seeing that this body and the mind, five aggregates, are nothing pleasant. Okay, I know this may be a bit difficult for you because everybody here attached like the body very much. Okay, we all want the self be happy and peaceful, right? But let's continue first. But the great disciple see it in another way. There's nothing substantial about this body and mind. So he doesn't really have the fears losing the body, losing the life. He said, oh, so the conversation said that he who is discarded by these five aggregates, the life, sought for an excellent, but now I have come upon this, even without search. So he had no fear of being killed at all. This is the true fearlessness. Then the Buddha said, very good, Punya. Having such a self-control and peacefulness, now you are quite capable of living in this place, very wide and round place. Okay. So if we continue to learn, you'll see that many great disciples of in Buddhism, after they're able to attain this kind of wisdom or insight about non-self, impermanence, they don't have to worry about their body, whether they can live long or peace or in a comfortable and or not, because the body are subject to changes anyway. Okay. But before we reach that state, we still have to face many dissatisfaction, some difficult people, difficult situations, right? So here in this Yogacara Sastra, it lists out, 6 types of difficult characteristics or behaviors that we might encounter in our life. Let's think about this first. Maybe you can keep something in your mind. Can you think of what kind of people that make you feel very difficult? Can you give me an example? Like what kind of people that you feel like difficult to deal with?
Apathetic.
Apathetic?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Other examples? This is good. Here we see. If someone get angry and raging easily, very bad temper, is it very difficult to discuss, to work with? Always get angry? and very short temper. Yeah, this is one type. And another type is do not reflect and contemplate on their actions. Oh, this also become a problem. Whenever something happens, always other people mistakes, right? Yeah. In our eyes, we see that no, it's his or her problem, but they cannot see it. I give you an example, okay? So this is a real incident, happened not long ago. So someone driving. So when she reversed the car reversed and then bumped into the trash can. It's a public trash can. So after that, she complained, saying that, oh, that trash can block my way. Okay, it should be get rid of, something like that. I was speechless because if I were her, how would you respond to that? I would feel very shameful. For me, okay, I would feel very shameful because, oh, my skill is so bad. I'm so reckless, I'm not mindful enough. Next time I need to be mindful so that I will not hit anything, okay? I will not like scratches the car. But this person is different. She complained the trash can. Do you see this kind of people many times in your daily life? Yeah, this kind of people happens around us. When someone lack of the capability to reflect, to contemplate on their own actions, they only see sufferings from outside, not from inside, causing problem to themselves and to others. Okay, and the other one is like to annoy others. Maybe I don't have to explain much. Okay, annoy you means by speech, by some very awful habits, right? Maybe it can be in your family, someone close to you, but we already learned how to deal with them, I guess, all right? And next is, if someone likes to tell lies, speak vulgarly, harshly, whenever they encounter dislike, that means whenever they contact, immediately the dislike feeling arises. But we fail to see the dislike feeling arise, immediately speak something bad. Speak something out of the dislike feeling. Not only they don't see the fire burning inside, they also burn other people because they spread the fires of their dislike. This causing problem, stress to themselves and to others. So these kind of characteristics or personalities, we call it, the sutra also call it despicable. Okay. And next, they speak the truth, they tell the truth, but somehow cause hollow and unwholesome speech. Yeah, in Buddhism, there is one important practice we call right speech. This is one of the Noble Eightfold Path. What is right speech? Right speech doesn't mean just telling the truth, but we need to be very smart, not wise, not smart. Smart is not enough. Wise and compassionate enough, because whenever we say something, it's not only have to be true, it has to be at the right time and using the right skill with the right intention. Then you can achieve the purpose of right speech. If this is true, but somehow you have a very selfish or evil intention, want to cause some disharmony among the group, this truth has no value. You don't have to tell it. So when we learn, not only have to knowing what is happening, but also see the intention we want to do it. And will it brings benefits to others, or will it cause some disturbance to others? If it's causing some bad feelings to others, then it's better not to say anything. Okay. Now let's look at our news every day. If we contemplate or reflect on all these news, some of the news I don't think they are necessary to announce or to publish, right? Because if they don't promote some faith or confidence or some kindness in the society, what is the point just to publish all those negative, causing too much negativities in the society? So looking here, the last one, this is also very bad. take pleasure in provoking wrath of discriminating and harsh speech. Purposely, okay? I don't have to mention all these. But when we are looking at all these characteristics and behavior, then we better be aware that, am I one of them? Yeah, we don't want to be this kind of people, okay? And we also learn how to deal with these people, but with patience and tolerance. So the Buddha's teaching continue to say that we need to be tolerant about what? Some hateful insults and harm. Yeah. Harmful, harm that from hateful enemies, physical injuries, false accusation, malicious slander, causing one to lose one's reputation and profit. Okay, this happens not uncommon in the workplace. Yesterday, I hear a stories from our Buddhist friend saying that he used to collaborate with partner, but somehow things happen, two of them have to split. Okay, and after they split, this partner accused him, saying that you cannot practice anymore. Your career is going to end. Cause a lot of stress on this person. Can you imagine if you spend like years in doing your career and someone said that your career is going to end? That is horrible. And this is a very bad insult. So now we who practice patience and tolerance, okay, we need to penetrate through all these phenomena, seeing that all these afflictions in others actually also driven by their evil intention inside, but they cannot see it. Seeing that they also have the defilements, they also have all these not so good habitual thinkings, okay, but they cannot see it. If we're able to see it, there is nothing substantial and it will not affect us much. Okay, so the sutra continues saying that there are two proper attitudes that we can react things, okay? Be patient, tolerance, okay? When people react to us with resentment, grudges, we don't have to respond. Just like if you do not like the gift, you don't have to accept it. And second, be gentle, with no anger in the mind, and do not be annoyed by these kinds of behavior and action. Whatever we hear, whatever we contact, okay, no matter how these people or these happen in front of us, first thing that we have to do, first reaction is check inside. Check whether there is any ill feelings, whatever the feeling intention. Look inside first before we start talking and reacting. That is the most important. Buddhists with mindfulness, okay. First that we have to mindful is mindful of the inside first. If there is anger, jealousy, ill will, then do not speak it with your speech or action. Guard the inside first. Okay, this is how we practice patience and tolerance. And another sufferings, okay? So sufferings came from external non-sensual beings. I see that, I think this year, we see suffering caused by the so-called non-sentient beings. What are those? Floods, hurricanes, typhoons, wildfires, okay? Even the advanced technology cannot stop them, right? I think this country is considered one of the most advanced in science and technology, but they cannot stop fires, cannot stop floods. And we read the news, even the town of what they call Haven of Climates, Asheville, currently, right? Yes, they cannot imagine how can this happen to such a beautiful town. So people suffer a lot. Some of them have no water, no electricity for weeks. Yeah, this is a kind of suffering. And another suffering is from sentient beings. When you go to the nature, sometimes you bite by mosquitoes, by scorpions or snakes, all these causing sufferings to the physical body. And oneself. What does it mean, oneself? This refers to Buddhists, okay? When we, like the monastic, decided to renounce and practice in a monastic way, we need to be patient to endure the so-called stress. Why? Because now we live in the group according to the Sangha's schedules, according to the Sangha's rules, okay, according to the hierarchy of the group, not according to my wish. So when everything against my personal habits, my personal interests, there is this lack feeling arise because the self is being challenged, the habit is being challenged, okay? And living places according to conditions, not according to my comfort, this also become a challenge. Your people, you have your own comfortable bedroom, for example, okay, house. So there is, you can arrange according to your personal wish. But for monastic, it is, everything is the same in the monastery. So this is another level, spiritual challenge, training. So, and the third types of patience that we need to practice is when come to this learning the Dharma, contemplating the Dharma, okay? If we just come and learn at a very narrow or shallow, superficially, we very hard to attain or dive deep into the Dharma and get the benefits from it. We must, apply certain efforts, patience, and tolerance in this process through the training that enable us to relate what we hear, listen to our real life, and immerse ourselves in these teachings, okay, and train according to the knowledge that we have learned. So what is training means here? In the Pali, the Buddhist language, they call it Sikkhapada, means learning, training, everyday training. Okay, a very simple way is by mindful and aware that, as I said just now, mindful what is happening. Oh, desire arises. Don't act according to the desire first. Angry arise. Don't act according to the angry first. But mindful according to the situation that is more important. And the Lotus Sutra also taught us that, saying that how to practice remain composure, not to be irritated or afraid. Okay, no matter how difficult it is, we don't talk about other faults and mistakes, weaknesses, or strengths, like or dislike. That means no discrimination. But of course, in a corporations, in an organizations, we need to have the so-called reflections or collecting feedback. We need to have this kind of collective feedback, let people talk about what are the things that we need to improve. This kind of reflections we need, but we don't talk about weaknesses or mistakes or fault out of dissatisfactions. There's the two different. We need to learn, but not say it with all these unpleasant feelings, okay? And no matter how the situation, remain focused on the Dharma. Okay, Dharma is always as our guidance, especially those who already took the refuge, okay, three refuge. The Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha are always our guidance. Focus on the Dharma, okay, yeah. Dharma, the Buddha is our teachers. So learn from the Buddha and not learn from the ordinary, non-trained people. And so there are different levels of patience and tolerance. Okay, I'm going to give you a quick explanations. So according to these sutras, there are 12 kinds of patience and tolerance. First is with resolute nature and is patient in facing adversity. That means certain people, they're born with a kind of resolute nature. If you have like kids or friends, you can see that some people, their personalities is prone to calm compared to other people. Some kids, they tend to get irritated easily, restless, okay, difficult to stay calm. But some always can be very calm and smile all the time, right? Yeah, different nature. So some people born with it. And next is the mind always pure without malaise, okay, and thus able to accept the humiliation more easily. So when I said that mind remains pure, pure means free from desire, free from greed, free from delusion, free from ill will. That is the mind pure. And next is be patient and tolerant without flattering or not deceiving others. That means no matter how difficult the situation is and how difficult these people in front of me, stick with the principles. Okay, you don't need to be flattered or deceiving others. Always honest and be hold on to the truthfulness. And then next is people sometimes can be very harsh on us, but we always remain compassionate to them, to the poor and to those lack of the wisdom and those who cannot see the path. We are fortunate enough here we learn, okay? The Buddha's learning help us to look inside to free from our own defilements, but many others cannot. So they trap in their defilements, they express their defilements, but now we have the wisdom, we're able to penetrate. So compassionate to them, okay? And because of the compassion, we are able to accept that kind of humiliation. And next is continue to cultivate patience and tolerance, act according to words, and never turn back from the path. What it means the mind is truthful, honest, the same with the words, with the actions. No matter how difficult the journey is, never turn back. So there is a consistency inside and outside. The strength, the mental strength already built up, and it is consistent in the external expression as well, another level. And next is further, okay, develop the wisdom of emptiness, able to detach from all the wrong views. And further, move on. That is focus on the cognitions of the Dharma and able to skillfully navigating all the phenomena as they are, not as I wish, as I desire, as I expected. And further, who has already achieved a deep insight into tolerance, there is no more distinction between self and others. So when opposition happens, when stress happens, it's because me and he, between me and others, there's a conflict. That's why stress and suffering happens. But now, if there is no more self and others, you can just according to the conditions, okay? And next is align with the wisdom of the Noble One. So this is the true gentle practice of the patience, okay? Transcending the worldly affairs. And those who really able to penetrate into the law of dependent origination, they will just totally live up according to the conditions, causes and conditions, will not interfere with my self-interest or expectation too. And next is, because of this, the mind is very stable and unwavering, so the patience and tolerance can be applied, and one can confirm with the mind of the others. So eventually, when this patience and tolerance become mature, we no longer need to apply energy. It just flow out from the mind that is become part of our life. The virtues mature. All right. So eventually, the sutra said that, so what is perfections of patience and tolerance? This is how it concludes. By penetrating the depth of existence and understanding the true nature of all phenomena, one eliminates the suffering caused by resentment, disgust, and anger in sentient beings, while maintaining the armor of perfect wisdom and compassion and virtue. So here, I just want to say that you can see that here, patience, tolerance is not suppressing one's feeling. It's not keeping, I'm just bear with it. It's not suppressing. It is born from the wisdom seeing things as they are, seeing beings as they are. There is no self here, there is no self here. And all this distinction between self and other is solved. So there is nothing that you have to feel like you need to bear the stress. Someone practicing mindfulness saying like this, he said that mindfulness helps us to see the non-self and impermanence when all the bullets of attack from outside hit nowhere because there is no more self to be the target of attack. Yes. So to end my talk here, I would like you to give a summary, a brief summaries. Okay, patience and tolerance are the practice or cultivations of wisdom, compassion, and other virtues. It's not just like bear with it or have to force yourself to suppress and deal with it. It's no forcing. Okay. And these are the foundations of the true peace and violence, non-violence, okay? So when we talk about peace and non-violence, there is a deeper meaning under it. It's come from the compassion and wisdom, that coupled with the patience and tolerance. And again, true peace and non-violence derive from realizing the truth within. This body and the mind is like the school that we learn, okay? It's not by conquering from all outside. And how can we practice? The best way to practice is in the community, not by oneself, okay? It is only in the community we get support, we get encouragement, okay? We get advice from our peers, our Dharma friends. This is how we strengthen our practice. So I hope everyone who really want to practice and work on this path, not just practice on your own, okay? In seclusion has its own limits, okay? Especially if you cannot see the self yet. Come in the practice in the assembly, in the communities. Appreciate the differences, the diversity. This is how we can hold each other's and strengthen our energy, okay? So really, the last one, okay, I would like to share this with you. I think this is a very nice verses, okay, I will read it to you, okay. It's the qualities of convictions and wisdom, they are always yoked to the shaft. Conscience is its pole, shamefulness is drag, and mindfulness is careful driver. The chariot equipped with ethics, its excel is absorption, and energy is will. Equanimity and immersion are the carriage shaft, and is upholstered with desirelessness. Goodwill, harmlessness, and seclusion are its weapon. Patience and tolerance is shell and armor, as is rolled on to the sanctuary from the yoke. Okay, so on this path, you need many other virtues, not just meditation, not just sitting, okay? There are many virtues we need to cultivate together. So I hope that for everyone here today, after listening to this, I hope you get some seed about peace, tolerance, wisdom, compassion, and let's share our compassionate thoughts and feelings with everybody in this hall and all others who are not here today, but living and working hard to overcome their suffering and stress. Okay, let's spend 1 minute and we will do this very short compassionate blessings. May we be free from anger and hatred. May we be free from greed and selfishness. May we be free from fear and anxiety.